So I have only a few more questions.
Yeah. No worries.
So, as we said in the beginning, that there's some other things that, artists should think about themselves as a business, and in business there are a couple of other things that need to embody as a business, like such as like R&D to properly position themselves, and as you mentioned several times in the book, trying to figure out what problem you're trying to solve as an artist. Some artists might think about this as like selling out, like they're catering to other people as opposed to themselves. What is your opinion on that? Because I feel like that's the biggest part that would bother an artist, is actually saying that they're doing something for someone else instead of themselves.
Yeah, I can see where you're coming from, and I can definitely relate to that. But when you step back and think about what people love about a great song, it's because we can all relate to it. It depends on. It doesn't even matter what song it is. Like there's certainly a different group of people who may relate to an early '70s Eagles country rock song versus a new Jay-Z song. It's a different group of people, but the people who love that song love it because it holds something universal. There's some sort of appeal in there, whether it's about a relationship, whether it's about struggling to get by, whether it's about making it rich, whether it's about driving a fast car on an open road, whatever it might be. There's something in there that appeals to millions of people and touches us on an emotional level. And I think an artist who can step back from making music and recognize that there are things in there that other people connect with. And that's what problem you're solving as an artist. That's what role you're playing in that person's life. So, if it's T.I. singing about coming to grips with, all the things he went through and coming back out of jail, and there's people who relate to that. Even if it's not out of jail, there's people who can relate to coming back and overcoming obstacles in their life and coming to a realization that they can be something greater. Or whether it's like a classic rock artist like Boston singing More Than a Feeling, and we can all relate to Falling in Love. I mean, every song holds a universal appeal for some reason or another. And an artist who can recognize that this is why people love my music. Okay, recognize that and take that and benefit from it. People are buying your records or buying your songs because they love what you do and why you do it, and they can relate to that. So give them more of that. Allow them to continue to share in that gift you're giving them. It's not selling out so much as it is recognizing that you do something that appeals to other people too.
Oh, that's a good way to think about it.
Yeah, it's hardly selling out. I think it's only selling out if you say, well, what can I do to make more money now? And if your primary motivation becomes, how can I get rich off this, then maybe you are selling out. But if your primary motivation is touching people on an emotional level with your music, well, you'll make money off of that. And that's the way to look at it. It's not so much about making the money as it is about doing what you do and what other people love and doing it really well and then benefiting from it in the end.
Yeah, and I believe that very point that you brought up was in your Branding Like Bob Dylan section. I have the page 137. See, I was reading this book 137.
You marked it all up.
Yep. Where you specifically said if you're focused on profit and you're focused on you, not your customer. So I completely am agreeing with you 100%. Like, it's not selling out. It's focusing on what people can give you attention of things that relate to them and you. It's not necessarily.
Yeah.
It's too much. Yeah, very emotional.
Yeah. When Bob Dylan didn't sell out but when Bob Dylan wrote Like a Rolling Stone, which became what has been called the number one song in rock music history, he wasn't selling out. He was writing a song. How does it feel to be on your own, to be without a home, like a complete unknown? He was tapping into universal emotions we all feel, And there's nothing wrong with that. That's what great music does. It's not selling out. It's connecting with other people. And it so happens that if you connect with other people really, really well, you can get rich off it. Good for you if you do.
Yeah, and in the end, it works out.
Exactly. Where it goes wrong is if the primary motivation becomes, hey, let's try to get rich. If somebody were to, if you start out with, well, Nickelback's really popular, let's record songs that sound like Nickelback. Well, we don't need any more of that. Nickelback already is doing what they do. Focus on what you do and focus on why that connects with people. That's better motivation.